AEW Big Business was announced, was a special announcement from Tony Khan this week. March 13th, Boston, Massachusetts. Fine city.
That's not how Tony Khan says. He says Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boss ton. Um, and you know, I think everybody kind of knows what this means. But maybe it means more than we think, James. Because in conjunction, it looks like Mercedes Mone is on the way, because if you look at the graphic and the flyer, BOSS on there, and we know who the boss was at one point. Kazuchika Okada, it was reported that he's going to be signing with AEW.
Yeah.
Man, seems like it's going to be some type of double debut. They're doing the, we ain't going to tell y'all, but y'all know what it is. And Boston's been a pretty good city for AEW every time they've gone there. That was like the home
Yeah.
of that Moxley Wheeler Yuta match. But yeah, it looks like Mercedes is on the way in. What do you think about all this?
I mean, pretty much after the Rumble went and passed without Mercedes there,
Shout out to Dream
um,
Sooner.
and a few, people saying that reporting said that like people basically like they believe that WWE side believes that she's already signed to AEW. It's like, okay, so it's just a matter of time. Obviously, she had the injury from the summer or the spring, late spring, which can't remember which one, but like she had to recover from that, and yeah, like as I mentioned before when we brought up Mercedes of late in the last couple months or so in regards to AEW is like I hope for Tony Khan's sake that he will secure her eventually, because he had her all over the much like in the Taylor Swift position at Super Bowl. She was very much like being shown from time to time, partaking in watching the festivities and goings ons of All In and Wembley. So it's like I will hope that like she don't show up at the Rumble and be like you was out here being used for promo, you sucker. So yeah, man. Seeing how this division has made additions and some additions via subtraction, or being changing some of the rotation minutes, if you will. I feel like this year has been like one of the most consistent year AEW Women's Division has been so far. Obviously, we're only 6 weeks in, but like the quality has stepped up. We have storylines, we have directions, we have matches that don't just flat out just lack in quality. We have matches that actually pop sometimes, and or more regularity actually. And yeah, man, like between that goes from even all of Con Pro Wrestling TV, like that includes ROH. ROH been on point because Athena's held it down, but like you see what Athena and Billy Starks and Nyla are doing. That's fun. You see what with the the showcasing of Queen Aminata on television in matches where she's losing right now, but like she is getting people's attention by showing her skill. Seeing Serena Deeb come back, seeing Statlander and Willow as a tag team with Stokely, like the love triangle thing between Ruby and Saraya and Angela Parker, like Deanna
Deanna
and
Purrazzo has been
her coming
awesome.
in, Deanna and Tony Storm, and them building up towards the title match. This has been a well ran women's division this year.
I gotta say, man. So I think people gotta update their software, like on their default AEW complaints, like especially when it comes
Yeah,
to the women's division.
yeah. Like this is the most focused it's been. Like there's been other times where they've had runs where it's like, all right, they've had a good month, they've had a good, or whatever else, or someone came back and is their run and they're killing their run. She does the Rihos, the Serena Deebs, if you will, but Thunder Rosa. But like this is the first time where it's like, okay, they got directions. They got directions for multiple things. And I'm interested in all of them actually. So like, yeah, I think that like they have they're getting their house in order for the acquisition or the whatever the money it costs for them to bring in Mercedes and like Thank you, Mercedes. Thank you. I think everybody that has talked bad about the AEW Women's Division, and that includes us, I think we all need to be like, hey, you see, it's one thing to hear words. We heard words for a number of years. Another thing to see action. And this shit has the wagons have circled around this. And the only thing I can point to for the definitive change in all of this has been we just dumped a boatload of money into Mercedes Moné's lap, and we gotta make sure we get a return on this investment. And if this is what it took, because they finally got a horsewoman, secured a horsewoman, thank you, Charlotte Flair, thank you Bayley, thank you Becky Lynch, thank you Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, because this is the shit that I wanted from year one of AEW, and we're here now. It took us 4 fucking years, but it seems like we're here now, and I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think Queen Emanata is actually going to be a huge star.
Yeah,
and yeah. I think with Mercedes, like we're looking at, all right, I imagine there will be some Mercedes fans checking this out, check out our coverage of Mercedes and stuff, and then maybe they're not familiar with what's going on in AEW. I think you did a good job, James, running down everything kind of that's going on. The way Emanata is, like, I feel like something around her is special right now. And I feel like something you could do is maybe align her and Mercedes at some point, or use her as an early opponent, and then eventually, build like a long friendship or whatever, and then a split, essentially, like, because Mercedes is, let's keep it a stack, like, she's had injury problems and stuff like that. Like, she's had like different times where she was out of action. Is she going to hit the ground running for a full schedule? I don't know. So, like, while she's here, I'm thinking, all right, who are people that she can work with? But I would keep Emanata close to her to try to, rub off that, adulation a little bit for her. And, I just saw a lot of the Cope. And I don't mean Adam Copeland. I mean, I saw, like, I did some dunking, on some folks. I was pulling out old tweets on them. I think it's, I'm
saving mine until she's on on Turner. I'm saving those. I'm saving them.
But I saw, like, you just see the people, like, just whether just running with everything regarding her, like, she's not worth it, blah blah blah, they're paying arm and leg, no figures have been leaked, no, like, whatever has been, nothing has been there. It's just like,
same for Okada.
Yeah, it's all this thing about
it's almost like they got money gimmicks, so therefore, like, they must be getting paid, like, 8 digits a year.
Yeah, there's a lot of, we have people in NXT, we have all this stuff, and it's like, hold on, man. Since when is the World Wrestling Federation, the biggest promotion in the world, cheap? Since when are they the little engine that could, that are just developing their own talent from scratch? Since when?
Moneyball, Rich. They're playing Moneyball over there.
Stop the cap. This is Cope. This is seeing Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, Mercedes Moné all not walk in the door.
Right. Also, I like the idea that, like, because some of these people, like, watch sports, like, they think that, like, somehow, like, there's a salary cap or something, or like, so this is like they're paying the premium price for big free agents.
They're not making any money.
So that must mean that, like, they're going to be holes on the roster to pay for impact players. And it's like, nah, that ain't how this works, because there's no salary cap here. There's only 2 promotions, man. Yeah. There's only 2 major promotions in this country. Nah.
Yeah, man. It's I saw a lot of just shambolic, Cope tweets. Just, I guess we should move over to Okada. The story broke from SRS. Looks like he's heading to AEW. I originally thought he would be going to WWE, but then, the more I thought about it, more we kind of didn't hear. And actually, we need to talk about Kazuchika Okada and, like, you know, his last match with Tanahashi. I watched it this weekend, and what they're doing with him on the way out. We'll get to that in a second, though. Okada coming in, it's almost like Kazuchika Okada never appeared on national television in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the roof like blew off. It's almost, if that never happened with the roof blowing off, it's almost like he didn't main event Madison Square Garden, the Rogers Center. What other big building in America did he main event? But there's another one. They when he came in the United Center, it was in the title match and stuff like that. It's almost like this never happened. It's almost like they recycled every line that they've ever said about this guy or Japanese wrestlers in general.
About foreign wrestlers, yes.
About foreign wrestlers, and it was a joy to see.
It wasn't enjoyable for me because I hate seeing this dumb shit. It annoys me to no end that Okada's not. The people say this stuff about Okada is like he main evented Madison Square Garden at 85% capacity. I would have to look it up, but I don't think Roman Reigns has ever done that. No disrespect, just saying, like this dude ain't no fucking nobody, right? I think people just greatly underestimate, like, and I don't know how many times they do fucking forbidden door for them to fucking get it through their brains, but AEW exists because New Japan carried a ton of American fandom for professional wrestling and passion for professional wrestling, while a section of fandom that either was disenchanted with WWE or was done with pro wrestling post WCW, whatever else. And because of the internet, people saw this stuff. They came to AEW or came to New Japan shows, and the promotion got started off the backs of a bunch of ex-Bullet Clubbers and a guy that semi-main evented a Wrestle Kingdom that was a WWE legend. That is the origin story of AEW. So every time,
no matter what people want to rewrite or whatever, or right, come out here and lie about, like, we know we were all there, at least on this show.
Right.
We were charting it from the inception, from the reports.
Yep.
This guy Okada's a part of that.
Right. Right. Like the Okada Omega series even though like Okada hasn't been here for this, is a lot of people's entry points into Kenny Omega, who has been at points one of the 3 or 4 biggest stars in AEW ever. Or not different points, is one of the 3 or 4 biggest stars in AEW ever. People got their introductions watching 2 of the greatest matches, or 2, in my opinion, the 2 greatest matches of all time, plus other stuff, right? That is your opinion on how you rank it. My mileage varies on that. So for me, I'm just like, when people say this, is like, you are talking from the casual fan's perspective, to which I say, in which most people that watch AEW say, we don't give a flying fuck about casual fans. We never have. We never will.
We don't want to do it that way.
The promotion turned a corner critically over the last few months, based off of going back to its roots of we are giving our most passionate fans and people that buy tickets, that fly the asses out on the weekends to our shows to come see our pay-per-views. Sorry, MJF. Sorry, CM Punk. Sorry, Cody. You lost. It's over.
Yeah, it's like
Is
about.
there anything else I need to say about this? Also, John Moxley shows up fresh off of doing what? A fucking G1 run.
QT Marshall, is becoming too New Japan-y, for him in here.
Yeah, got all Japanesey. Yeah.
It's too Japanese. Yeah, man. Like, I just got to say, like, the roster is fucking filthy. filthy.
Rich.
This is the greatest roster in pro wrestling history. If you lay it down on paper, think of all the cross matches, and I guarantee you will still leave out dozens of them that can be made.
Rich, today I thought about Okada in 2024 an Okada versus Hangman match. I thought about it. And then as you just mentioned this part about cross matches you don't even think about, you know, I tend to do this. I just thought about like, oh yeah, we could get Okada versus Rey Fenix.
Yeah. Why not?
like forget the obvious match that you want to that everyone wants to see Rey Fenix have what the new edition. Like you want to see like what the fuck like Phoenix and Osprey can do. Like Okada and Phoenix would be fucking awesome. Like I still remember the Hiromu and Okada match in the New Japan Cup in front of nobody. That was fucking awesome. Like imagine a crazy, imagine a Chicago Dynamite. No, let's do this. Thanksgiving Thursday, or Thanksgiving Wednesday Dynamite, Thanksgiving Eve. Kazuchika Okada versus Rey Fenix. Run that.
Eddie Kingston versus Kazuchika Okada.
And they're friends because they both hate Jay White.
Man, just like all this stuff just brings a smile to my face. It is just like, just the possibilities are endless. Like, you know, and this is like what I want to watch. Like, it's like, yo, I don't care about Kazuchika Okada leaving New Japan. Like, I'm sorry. At this point,
I do, but that is not.
Hold
on, I do, but that does not change my. That does not like make me think. That does not make me be like, well, that means that like he can't do awesome stuff over here as well. It's a both thing. Like I'm bummed he's going to leave because I think they destabilized New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I'm also acknowledging like, yeah, there's a lot of fresh matchups that he otherwise with experienced main event talent that he could face that he otherwise would have to be doing a lot of like teaching stuff with the younger guys in New Japan.
So you lay it out on paper. It's like that old Bret Hart, like we'll give you this list and we'll give you this list. You tell me which one would be more exciting for you. Like it is crazy. Like just like, you know, what if we turn on a random week and it's like, yeah, you know, Kazuchika Okada's in action tonight, and then the music hits, and then it's whose house? Top rope, catch a vibe. Like, yo, like we're not seeing that.
To be fair, I don't think a match like that.
It wouldn't be random.
I don't think it's gonna be a random Dynamite match, but I get your point nonetheless.
You know, him versus Takeshita, bro. A lot of people want to see that, and.
I mean, who wouldn't want to see that?
I think, yeah, bro. The C2 this year, if they do it the real way, man.
Like the first time I ever saw Takeshita was 2020, and after that I was like, oh, I want to see him versus Okada, and like that was a match with Yuki Ueno in there, and also Kaito Kiyomiya. I got my Kaito Kiyomiya and Okada match. It was fucking awesome. I know some people have quips about how bad he beat his ass. The match still great. Like, I want to see the Takeshita and Okada match.
Bro, like, there's just so many guys I want to see him against. I don't even know where to begin. Like, and then it's like, you know, Osprey. Like, what's he going to do? Like, I don't, you know, when does Kenny come back? Like, I'm sorry, like, you know, especially with what's happening with Kazuchika Okada as far as it relates to New Japan now. Man, who knew that Kenny Omega getting pulled off of New Year's Dash would be a better send-off than Kazuchika Okada's getting right now? They're putting him in 10-man tag matches in the second match to send him off. Some of them that include Matt Riddle.
I don't know why he didn't just say I'm done after this weekend. Maybe he was like intent on finishing the tour. Because, you know, that's going to be New Japan Sapporo, which is like, those Sapporo shows are always the weakest ones, right? Because it's normally Nagoya or Osaka, and then you get to the Sapporo ones. Because, you know, those are the islands up north.
Seamus Nova says, Tama Tonga will get a better send-off than Okada, I promise you. And it's looking like that's going to happen. I watched the last Okada and Tanahashi match over the weekend, and man, it was just I'm gonna get real dark for a second here, but bear with me. It's one more reminder of like how much things are changing, times are changing, and like you just look around and things aren't the same anymore. And it was like, wow, we saw the great video package ahead of time. They show Okada in the ill-fitting clothes, um, you know, show him win the belt, show him crying in the dome, like basically saying you're not IWGP level. You show him finally surpassing Tanahashi. You show Tanahashi coming back in 2018 with that one title challenge, and then the G1, and Tanahashi wins, and then like shows them like becoming friends, and then teaming together, and then their one-off match they had last year, and then it was on to this one, and it was like Hiroshi Tanahashi comes out to high energy, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, they don't have the fucking music right, so like it's fucked up when I watch it, and I'm pissed, and I'm like, why could we not
It
secure
wasn't a
high
copyright
energy?
thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, why could we not secure high energy? What did it need to cost? Is the yen that down? I'll let that hang there. I saw Okada and Tanahashi go in the ring, and it was almost like the final lesson, and it was like they are not, even Okada, both of these guys are not the wrestlers they were at their apexes, obviously in
Yeah.
Tanahashi's case or whatever.
Yeah.
But Tanahashi, like, this is why he's so great still. He cocked back and he was doing high fly flows to the outside of the ring and shit. Like, he was like putting it on a line in a way where it's like, yo, this is the great rivalry that this promotion has had, that rebuilt this company, that made so many people fans, that made a star, that in their roles now, Tanahashi is president of the company. It's like his final kind of lesson to his student or whatever is like the whole time. I sent a tweet thread out about it, and I was all mushy and sappy and shit. It was like I kept thinking the whole thing was like, hey man, be your best today. Like, this isn't necessarily about the rest of our rivalry, even though they were taking some sequences and stuff like that. It wasn't
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
how
Of
good
course.
they once were. This is about who they are right now. Like I thought, and I was rooting for Tanahashi to win. The crowd was firmly too, and when Okada would like kind of do like little certain things, they would boo. And it was not like a fuck you kind of boo. It was like more like, yo, let's keep this pure, essentially. Like let's enjoy it one last time. And I've watched a lot of Okada Tanahashi matches over the years, long ones, the ones that were in Dallas, and it was like some of it was like these, long after it was a drawing match in Japan. Man, it didn't sound like it. Like it sounded as over as anything I've ever watched. Like it was loud. They were clapping. They were into the match. They loved it. I loved it. Okada won definitively, beating them, even though, that series
Was
been
it
over
one
for a
remake?
while.
Was it one Rainmaker still like it had been
One
for the last few
Rainmaker.
years?
Yep.
Okay.
And everything I saw in it was just like, I think he should never wrestle in New Japan Pro Wrestling again. Like I think he should no show the last 2 days, and I'm not even like trolling or playing or whatever. He's a freelancer now, right? Like this is how you're
Yeah.
gonna disrespect this man and put him second from the top in a match with fucking Matt Riddle in it. Go to hell. Like this is how you're gonna treat the greatest champion of your company's history. Maybe it's a case where they are upset with him and it was sudden or whatever, but I'm like, have some class. Like, and I know he's leaving you. I know he's not necessarily, he didn't put anybody over, on the way out, right? But he lost to Tetsuya Naito in the G1 finals.
Yep.
He went out there and gave you his best for years and years and years, and this is how you're gonna send him off, right? And I find that really disheartening. Like, and that kind of stinks. And I know some people are probably happy with it. They were happy to see him go,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. I
wanted him
mean,
to wrap it up for
you
quite a
know,
while and stuff
yeah,
like that. No, I'm saying I'm glad. That's why I'm like, bring him to AEW now. Like we'll take him. We'll show him the love. Like on this side, and it's like I. It's unfathomable to me that they're treating Okada like this on the way out. Second from the top, not building an
I,
event around him. We saw the Nakamura farewell. They were all
yeah,
crying. It was a main event, Cork and Hall. It was like this 3-on-3 emotional match. Everyone directly related to him. Okada don't fucking know Matt Riddle.
yep.
What is this? And it's a bunch of like United Empire
Hell,
guys, TJP,
Rich,
blah blah blah. It's like
Rich. Kushida, when he left, he got a Tanahashi match at Cork Hall.
Like, this is awful, bro. And I don't think people are gonna complain about this. So I'm gonna complain about it. Like, this is bullshit. Like, nah. Like, what happened to him is worse than what happened to the Elite. The Elite just did jobs in the Dome on the way out. At least it was the Dome.
Right. I see what you mean. I don't look. I don't know who's calling the shots, who gave the dates, whatever, who gave the exit of I need to be out by X, Y, and Z. I don't know. But you would think that, like, even if it is ending in Sapporo, like, can we have something that's more appropriate? You know? Like, honestly, the send-off should have been this match this weekend. That's what it should have been.
Yep.
I don't know why he wants to do these 2 extra dates, other than the part where it's like, I want to finish the New Beginning tour. That's the only thing that makes sense. I don't know, man. It's weird. But, I made sure that, like, when they said, like, hey, we are wrapping up, Pro Wrestling Tees and New Japan shop, token shop, that, like, we were getting rid of the prints for the the Okada stuff. I made sure, like, I've always wanted this shirt. I just never got around to getting it. And I was like, it's gonna cease to exist unless I go to Josh Smith route and get a boot. I ain't going out like that. So I ended up getting 2 Okada shirts. So they came in today. So I had to throw it on because I knew we were gonna talk about it. So yeah, man. It's it's because he was a standard, because he was the ace. Like, a good champion is somebody that in Japanese wrestling, like, there aren't super strong villainous characters most of the time. A lot of it is you just want to see someone that is worthy enough in the eyes of the fans get their shot at the title. Kind of had to be standing to be the heel, and we got a lot of It wasn't like he got booed, but it was always a lot of the crowd cheering for someone except for him, while he's having, matches of the decade, matches of the year, matches of the month. And it's how it ends. And it's like, all right, that's how you want to end it. All right. I think he's coming back eventually. And I don't know when, but I think, years from now he'll come back. I think he'll have the feuds with the guys that they want to have feuds with now, but they'll be older. They'll actually be main eventers. And he'll do good business again. And I think New Japan and Bushiroad and everybody else involved with this will look back and be like, why the fuck did we do this whole thing with these nothing out the door tag matches? I think they'll regret it.
Well, maybe one day Kazuchika Okada will work with the young guys at Forbidden Door.
That's funny.